Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Soccer Fan Perspective. I know it's a long time since I've did a video. My name is Victor and welcome to this episode where I will be talking about the playoff knockout rounds, give you guys a little bit of information of where the teams were coming from, and also give you my pick for each single game, at least in this first round. So the first one will be New England Revolution at DC. Now, the Revolution have had one win, one draw, and three losses during their last five games, while DC actually has had a little bit of a better run. Not too better, obviously, but they have two wins and three losses. As for the away record right now, Revolution, have five wins, two draws, and 10 losses, while DC's home record is 11 wins, three draws, and three losses. Now, when they faced each other, they actually faced each other twice this season. The first one was a 1-1 draw in New England, if I'm not mistaken, and the following game was a 2-1 victory for DC United at DC. So basically, this seems to be fairly matched. This actually is a personal game for me because I am a DC United fan. However, I feel that the New England Revolution are better coached, even though I do like Ben Olsen, and they have more depth with which might come into factor in, because of the short turnaround time between uh, the last season games. So I'm actually giving this round to New England. The next game will be the Los Angeles Galaxy versus the Seattle Sounders at Quest Field. Now, the LA Galaxy at least at the beginning of the season, was everybody's favorite. However, they kind of are stumbling into the playoffs, so to speak. Their last five records is one win, one draw, three losses, which isn't exactly great for a team that's expected to win this year's MLS Cup season, or at least the beginning of the season. As for the Seattle Sounders, they actually have a bit of more better record right now. They have two wins and three draws, no losses. So momentum-wise, Seattle Sounders are going into this in a great run of form. Now, as for the records, Los Angeles will be away, and so their away record is two wins, six draws, and nine losses, which right now, out of all the teams in the playoffs currently, is the worst away record. So many people have noticed that the LA Galaxy have been one of the worst teams with a away record, and this kind of shows how bad it's been for them this season. As for the Seattle Sounders, they have their home record is 11 wins, two draws, and four losses. So they have a pretty good established dominant form at home. They face each other three times this season. The first two were wins for LA, a 1-0 draw, a 1-0 win and a 3-1 win. And then the last one, which was played in Quest Field, was a 1-1 draw. So it seems to have it seems to be a little mixed here. I'm actually going to go with momentum here and pick the Seattle Sounders. I think right now, speaking momentum wise, they have a better run of form, and so I think they're going to push that into the playoffs. And considering LA has a horrible away record, I think this might be one of those MLS runs that is cut short for the Galaxy this season. Now, going on to the next game, which is an all Canadian game, actually, which is very, very interesting. This is the first time I think it's ever happened. It'll be Toronto FC at Montreal. Now, Toronto FC, this is their first time going to the playoffs, which is pretty amazing. Congrats again for TFC. All the fans must be excited. I'm happy for you guys. The last five games, however, they've managed to get three wins, two losses, which is a little bit inconsistent. But then again, they've always been that way. They've been kind of this roller coaster team of being a world beater one week and then kind of going back to form, or previous forms, during the next games. As for the impact, they actually are the exact opposite. They started off with two losses, and then they've gotten wins since then. So remember, TFC's won three and then lost two, and the impact of lost two and won three. So you can kind of see them going in opposite directions here. As for the Toronto's away record, they have four wins, three draws, and 10 losses. And for the Montreal Impact, they have their home record is 11 wins, two draws, four losses. Now, when facing each other, TFC has won twice at home. They've won 3-1 and also 2-1. And then we have Montreal winning the last bout 2-1, which was actually fairly recent. It was last week, and they did it in BMO Field. So judging by this data and the fact that I think Montreal is the hottest team, or at least a hotter team than Toronto FC right now. Now, Toronto does have Giovinco, and he can define a game, but also Montreal have their own talisman, which is Didier Drogba. Now, his age might be a factor. However, I think overall, Montreal is a more balanced team. They have a better defense than Toronto does. So Toronto really depends on the top four producing, and Altidor's kind of been wibbly wonky or whatever it is the term you want to use. He hasn't been consistent at all. Bradley has had his moments. However, I'm expecting more out of Bradley than what he's shown so far. And then obviously Giovinco's the star. He's gonna perform. I'm assuming either way. So I'm actually gonna give this though to Montreal Impact. I think they're a better team overall, and I think Didier Drogba is just the person to push them into the next round. Now for the last game, which is Sporting Kansas City versus Portland Timbers. Now I gotta say, guys, this was actually the toughest one to pick, and I'm gonna show you why. The reason is that Sporting Kansas City's last games, they've actually won two, draw one once, and lost twice. Now the Portland Timbers have won 4 times and have lost once. So momentum speaking, the favor should go to Portland Timbers. Now here's where things get a little iffy. Excuse me. Their away record for Sporting Kansas City, they've had 4 wins, 4 draws, 9 losses. And for the Portland Timbers, they've only had 8 wins at home, 6 draws, and 3 losses. Now, this puts the Portland Timbers as the worst home record for any team in the playoffs this season. It's just been 8 wins, and it hasn't been impressive. They've got a lot of draws, but the wins is very low compared to any other team here in the MLS playoff structure. Now, based on that alone, it gives Sporting Kansas City a little bit more of an edge. And here's the cherry on top. So when they face each other, they actually had 2 0-0 draws, and Sporting Kansas City has won 1-0 at Providence Park, which is where this match will be played. So that adds more to my frustration and my decision into choosing which team will go to the next round. However, I'm picking based on momentum, so I'm going to give the Portland Timbers. I'm going to pick the Portland Timbers in this instance. However, this could go either way. Let me know. These are my picks, guys. Let me know who you think will win in each round. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. Let me know why you disagree with me, though. And if you agree with me, let me know what it is exactly you agree with. Please let me know in the comment section down below, guys. That's it for this video. And stay tuned for the next coming up videos where I will be kind of giving my reviews on the games coming up, which is today. Obviously, there's 2 games today and then 2 games tomorrow. And then I will also give you guys a preview and my predictions on the next round. Until next time, guys, remember, hit that subscribe button if you like this video and want to stay updated. Give it a like as well, guys. And until next time, see you all later.